What more than that?
It's really good to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah. Can I ask you in Korean? And then yeah. So 2010년에 왕나 호그의 영화 아키펠로고로 한국 부산영화제를 찾으셨는데 이번 제가 두 번째 방문이신데요. 부산영화제는 토르 이전이었고 이번에 방문은 토르 이후인데 어떤 그 한국 팬들의 달라진 어떤 열기 같은 걸 좀 느끼시는지가 궁금합니다.
Yes, very much so. I had a wonderful time in Busan in 2010, 3 years ago, and the difference is that when I landed in Incheon Airport, this time there were 500 people waiting to greet me, which has never happened in my life anywhere in the world before. So that's you know, if I take one thing away from Korea, it's that you give amazingly warm welcomes.
제가 듣기로는 부산영화제를 찾았었던 당시에 한국의 그 노래방 시스템에 매우 감탄했다고 들었었는데요. 혹시 그때 당시에 뭐 스탠바이 미를 불렀었다는 얘기도 들었었고 한국의 코리안타운 가가지고도 가라오케 많이 가신다는 얘기를 들었었네요.
I know what this is about. Okay, when we were in Busan, we went to this karaoke bar and it was huge fun, and I sang all night. And I can't remember what I sang that time. It might have been "Man in the Mirror" by Michael Jackson.
Man in the Mirror.
Yeah. I don't know why. Do you want to hear it right now?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think how to start. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. Anyway, I'll leave it there.
Thank you so much.
Will you listen to me, Albert? I promise you, man to man, that I'll look after him as closely as you've done. After all this time, now you come to visit me, brother. It's the beginning of the film. Thor and Loki are back in Asgard and having to answer for their various actions during the Avengers. Loki is condemned to be in prison, written out of history, forgotten, unheard of, and unseen. And then something happens in the film where Thor is forced to go and ask for his help. And so their allegiance is one that's very complicated and good fun.
I'm so excited because you're here.
Thank you.
The blonde hair and
Yes.
very short hair.
Yes.
Enough! You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature.
제가 생각할 때 어벤져스에서 헐크가 로키를 말 그대로 패대기를 치는 그 장면이 재밌기도 하고 제일 웃기기도 하고 그리고 제일 시원했던 장면이기도 했었는데 사실 그 로키 입장에서는 가장 가슴 아픈 장면이 아니었을까라는 생각이 들어요.
It was an interesting. The fact that people enjoy that moment is amazing for me because, you know, when I read the script, that is essentially that's the end of Loki. Really, that's when he's finally defeated, and it was very, very funny to read, and I wanted it to be funny to watch, and of course when I was shooting it, and it just involved me jumping around. And throwing myself onto the floor in lots of different places.
Just by yourself?
By myself, you know, just doing what a normal day at work. But when I finally saw the finished film with an audience for the first time, the first audience I was with literally jumped out of their seat. They cheered and clapped, and I thought, we've done it.
Yeah, I do like that.
You did?
Yeah.
Great. That's so great. Yeah, it's very funny. It's nice. Yeah, I haven't met anyone who doesn't think that's funny.
토르 역의 크리스 햄스워스에 굉장히 미안한 얘기긴 하지만 제가 생각할 때 이 토르 영화에서 로키가 사실은 가장 섹시한 캐릭터가 아닐까라고 생각을 하는데요.
Well, listen, that's very sweet of you to say that. I'm so proud that people like Loki. People find him engaging. People find him charming and interesting and sort of psychologically fascinating and in some cases attractive. But there is no Loki without Thor. There is no Thor without Loki. They define each other. They're sort of two halves of the same whole. They are the light and the shadow.
That's why you guys are brothers.
That's it. Yeah. We almost feel like brothers. Now I have two sisters, so I never had a brother. So Chris feels like as close as I'm ever going to get to having a brother.
Loki, what are you doing here? The burden of the throne has fallen to me now.
같은 경우에는 케네스 브래너라고 사실은 섹스피어에 관련된 연출가로서 최고라고 할 수 있는 그런 연출가와 같이 연출을 했었는데 로키라는 캐릭터 자체도 다분히 섹스피어적인 캐릭터라는 생각이 들거든요.
In terms of constructing Loki, Kenneth Branagh and I discussed Shakespeare because of the references. So, for example, he is an illegitimate son, like the character of Edmund in King Lear. He's ambitious, like Macbeth. He's a sort of chess master, strategist, like Iago. I remember one of the things he said to me was he wanted Loki to have what Shakespeare calls a lean and hungry look, which is what he uses to describe Cassius and Julius Caesar. So for me, that was just, they were ways of anchoring the character in something I knew was familiar in a way. And then broadening it, of course, into the Marvel history of him. He's a Marvel character. So it's a nice cocktail of different influences.
로키의 어떤 동력에는 결국 질투, 그리고 아버지에게 사랑받고 싶은 마음 같은 것들이 가운데 있고 그것이 이 캐릭터를 사실 악당으로 만들 수밖에 없는 부분인 것 같은데 실제로 로키를 연기하면서 이 남자의 중심도 잡았던 건 어떤 거였는지 그리고 어떤 방식의 애정을 쏟았는지가 좀
people in human condition. And one of those things is a sort of vulnerability, is that when human beings are weak, and when we're at our weakest, it's often negativity comes out of weakness, and there's a way of looking at weakness with compassion. And so it was very important to me to build Loki's psychology from something that was in a way compassionate from my perspective. So in the first film, Loki discovers that the narrative, the story of his childhood is a lie.
In the aftermath of the battle, I went into the temple and I found a baby.
That he is not Odin's son. He is not Thor's brother or Frigga's brother. He doesn't belong in Asgard. He, in fact, was once a illegitimate child of an enemy race who was left to die on the frozen wastes of another realm. And it breaks his heart. And that sense of betrayal is what hardens him to become a villain. And so approaching the role, I always wanted to make his. I wanted to make him three-dimensional, to make him human. And once I had done that, then I could start to have fun and be bad and be charming, because I know the character stands on solid foundations which are quite human, I think. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald, the Fitzgeralds. Isn't she beautiful? Yes, yes.
You have a glazed look in your eye.
This usually works.
이트스쿨을 졸업을 하고 또 캠브리지에서 클래식을 공부를 하고 그리고 뭐 왕립 연극학교에서 이제 공부를 하고 그러니까 가장 영국적인 그런 교육을 받고 그렇게 살아왔던 사람이긴 하지만 실질적으로 굉장히 뭐 미국 일단 뭐 토르 같은 경우도 미국 코믹스를 기본으로 한 영화로 가장 성공을 했고 그리고 보면 그 가장 좋아하는 장르가 그 주드 에파토의 영화라고도 들었거든요. 어떻게 보면 미국 문화가 어린 시절에 그 히든스턴 씨에게 어떤 큰 영향을 좀 주지 않았나라는 생각들도 들어요.
That's an amazing question. You know, I think when I was growing up in the 80s, the movies I watched were American. You know,
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, yes. Exactly. You know, Steven Spielberg made the films that I loved. Not just him, actually. There was, James Cameron and Richard Donner's Superman series. Of course, George Lucas' original Star Wars films.
All time my favorite.
Yeah, they're all, and Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
You know, that was the kind of heyday of extraordinary, popular American films. You know, popular culture really celebrating itself. And I guess that is, when you're developing as a child, that kind of gets hardwired into your brain. But there's some that American commercial cinema is actually very joyful, and it's there's a celebration of something in those films, and I always wanted to be a part of that. I mean, as soon as I decided to become an actor, I wanted to be able to, once or twice, 3 times in this case, to be part of that sort of enormously joyful celebration that these films can be. I'm not saying they are every time. And regarding Judd Apatow, it was one of those things that, sometimes I think I have had this very British education, but that's not all I am. Do you know what I mean? And that's not all anyone is. Like, we are all so much more than the sort of our labels. Do you know what I'm saying? I remember just talking about it because I think people were surprised that I would watch those kinds of films. And it was my way of saying, I'm not sort of a stuffed shirt from the past. I live now and I have a sense of humor.
베네딕트 컴버비치나 니콜라스 홀스나 에런 존슨이라든지 그리고 톰 히들스턴까지 지금 제가 느끼기에는 거의 네오 브리티시 인베이전이라고 생각할 정도, 그러니까 정말 영국 공습 같은 느낌이 들 정도인데요. 특히나 이제 과거에도 영국 출신 배우들은 굉장히 많았잖아요. 근데 이렇게 히든스턴 씨 같이 젊은 세대의 또 배우들은 헐리우드에 정착하는 방식이라든지 혹은 거기서 활동하는 방식 같은 것이 굉장히 또 다르다는 느낌을 받거든요.
As an actor, when you play another character, it's like traveling to a foreign country, and you find out what is different and what is similar to you. Traveling is exactly that. Is what it does is it binds you together, and you realize you're part of. So when I play Loki, it's like I travel to this other place, and I find out the things about him that are like me, and the things about him that are not like me. My favorite, E.M. Forster, who's one of my favorite writers, wrote a passage to India. Is all about this sort of the strangeness of trying to make a connection at that point in time in India. And I remember there's a metaphor he uses about the overarching sky. Is that we all live under the same sky, and that to me is a beautiful idea.
제 생각에 스티븐 스필버그가 굉장히 위대한 스토리텔러라면 우디 알렌은 정말 끊임없는 어떤 수다 박스 같은 느낌이 들고 짐장훈 씨 같은 경우는 정말 고요한 시인 같은 느낌이 드는데 이렇게 너무나도 각자 다른 하지만 각 분야에서는 정말 마스터라고 불릴 수 있는 그런 감독들과 작업을 한 그 즐거움은 어떤 것이 있었는지가 궁금해요.
It's extraordinary. It really is. I feel so lucky that I've been allowed to work with these people. just to go through each of them one by one. Steven Spielberg is someone who has shaped cinema, and in that regard, I think has changed the world in his own particular way. He's one of the warmest spirited film directors of all time. He's changed the way people think about film, and he's made films that have made such a deep emotional impact.
Woody Allen is the most prolific American director alive today. He's made a film a year for the last 50 years. It's an astonishing output, and the more he makes, the wiser he seems to get. They're still funny, they're still smart, they're contemporary, and he's a legend. And to be in one of his films, particularly that Midnight in Paris, which was about sort of the nature of legends, was very, very thrilling. And Jim Jarmusch is, his particular tone, which is very cool and very laid back and very curious and wide, was amazing. Because it's the first time I feel I've made a film about love, true love as acceptance of someone. It's funny, Tilda Swinton, who we play lovers in the film, she said it's a vampire film.
Yeah.
And Tilda said she thinks that Jim has been making vampire films all his life. It's just that before, this is the first time they've had fangs and drank blood. But there's something about Jim's films which are,
아까 말씀하셨던 짐자무 씨의 영화 속에서 나왔었던 그 틸다 스윈턴이나 존 하트경도 그렇고 봉준호 감독의 설국열차에 함께 등장했었던 배우기도 하고요. 미아 와시코프스카는 박찬욱 감독의 스토커에 함께 또 출연을 했는데 실제로 주변의 배우들이 한국 감독과 이런 방식의 이제 아주 밀접한 관계들을 맺고 있는데 혹시 그런 계획, 한국 감독과 함께 작업하고 싶은 계획은 있으신지 궁금합니다.
And I'm a huge fan of both of their work. I would love to work with them on someday. Who knows? I mean, I just have to cross my fingers and hope. But I think those are two filmmakers from Korea I'm particularly familiar with. And but I know that Korea is an amazing country of film lovers. There's an incredible history of filmmaking here. But I think it's had its own impact in the world. And which, just goes to show that people like the visual spectacle of cinema and the narrative stuff. So one day, I hope.
꼭 한국 영화에서 얼굴 뵙는 날이 꼭 오기를 바라요.
That'd be amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
See you next time.
See you next time. Yeah.